Welcome and thank you for joining our virtual 2020 Community Meeting and Awards webinar. I'm Berneice Cox and I'm the President and CEO of the United Way of the Big Bend. 2020, boy, has it already been a year that we will never forget. We're experiencing a pandemic that is taking lives and threatening economic livelihood, especially for low-income workers. We are grieving the tragic loss of the life of George Floyd, which has created a momentous wave of support for racial justice and again highlights the social and economic disparities. And at the United Way of the Big Bend, our work has only increased as families in poverty and the working poor find themselves at even greater risk. Our United Way of the Big Bend has helped our area for over 78 years. Yes, we are 78 years strong. We are continuing to step up to impact the lives of our neighbors in the 8-county area we serve. This event is an important first step to our annual campaign, which focuses on raising money for those in most need. We're so happy that each of you are joining us today. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate your support. We want to thank our presenting sponsor, Publix. Publix is a partner that is always present, be it an average day, a hurricane, or a pandemic. I'd like to take this time to thank our local public associates who are always eager to help in times of need. I would also like to thank our sponsor, the First Bank, a great partner throughout the year. We're so thankful for your sponsorship of our event today. Thanking our in-kind sponsors, American Audiovisual, the Zachary Group, Gary Jordan, Evolution Media, CB Lorch, Manifest Video Production, James Derzypolski, Level Up, Josh McCallhorn. During these times of uncertainty and crisis, people come together to support one another. COVID-19 has been an incredible test of our collective strength. Strength, resilience, and care resides in every heart. And as it is said, that one day it will be summoned, you will be summoned, and today is that day. We need strength, resilience, and care now more than ever. As millions were on lockdown and many businesses were closed, unemployment spiked. Feeding the kids, making the rent, and keeping the lights on is tougher for many of us than ever before. It is for this reason that our United Way began the community's first COVID-19 Community Relief Fund. We quickly allocated $120,000 in phase 1 and look forward to soon announcing our phase 2 of funding. We'd like to offer a special thanks to Florida Blue and Truist Foundation and the individual donors in our community for their incredible support of our COVID-19 relief efforts. Your generosity provides relief to those left vulnerable by the pandemic by helping to secure food for children and seniors, crisis priorities, emergency support, rental and utility payment assistance. We can do this because we have spent decades developing deep roots and trust in Leon and our neighboring counties. This strong foundation provides us with the resources, reputation, and relationships needed to bring people together and organizations together around innovative solutions. United Way of the Big Bend is committed to standing with our community partners, supporting those impacted by COVID-19. I would like to say a big thanks to our United Way team. As we were considered an essential service, we quickly pivoted to how we need to help our neighbors in need. We partnered with Second Harvest to deliver food to children, teens, families, and seniors. For the first time in the history of our United Way, a National Guard truck with soldiers pulled into our parking lot and helped unload pallets of food for us to deliver to those in need in our 8-county region. Not only did we allocate funds, but we asked our funded program partners what resources they needed, and we delivered to them infant supplies, diapers, cleaning supplies, and much more. I'd like you to watch, as you can see, some of the work that we did.
And let the rain fall on the roof, let the world come crashing down. There's a hallelujah singing in the dark.
All I want, ever need is right here, right now. 'Cause you
light me up here.
Wherever you are, we'll be there. We're there every day during times of stability and those of crisis. In 2018, when Hurricane Michael hit, we were able to provide $415,000 into the community, helping our neighbors in Liberty, Franklin, and Gadsden County recover. We helped with roofing and AC repairs to individuals and families, assistance to a domestic violence shelter for roof repairs, provided a food pantry with a new freezer and replacement of food lost due to lack of power, and enabled program partners to provide immediate assistance to their clients affected by Hurricane Michael. Cynthia, Sarah, and Penny are a few of our neighbors we helped recover from Hurricane Michael. When our community was impacted by COVID-19, we faced unprecedented challenges and met them head on. It is going to take each and every one of us uniting to fight against the obstacles facing our community each day, whether it be COVID-19 or poverty. Our United Way is committed to making long-lasting change for the good of all members of the Big Bend. Fighting alongside us is this year's United Way Board Chair, Stephanie Derzypolski, Vice President, Chief Communications Officer for Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare. She has volunteered her time with our United Way, Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce, Sustainable Tallahassee, Meals on Wheels, and Goodwill of the Big Bend. As Stephanie was working long hours, very long hours at TMH, responding to COVID-19, she continued to make time to lead our board. One of Stephanie's superpowers is the calm she brings. It is calm that was needed for our board during this time of the pandemic. I would like to welcome our chair, Stephanie Derzypolski.
I'm glad that looked like calmness to you. I think it was actually more being shell-shocked than anything. But yes, we did work a lot of long hours. Berneice and I had many late conversations late at night when we could finally connect. And it's been really a great pleasure to work alongside you as well. You have led this organization through a pandemic, so that's the first of its kind. Thank you. For those of you who don't know my story, I wanted to take a few moments just to tell you how I became involved with the United Way of the Big Bend. It actually started probably about 20 years ago. I had a wonderful mentor who was my boss at the time, and she recognized I had a passion for learning more about the community, and she promptly put me, along with some other emerging leaders, into a van and took us around to visit some of the United Way agencies. And I specifically remember going to Brehon that day and getting to see firsthand the homeless pregnant women they were serving and learning more about their programs. And I was changed that day, and I have been a leadership giver since that time. Fast forward over the years, I've become more and more involved. I think I've served on every committee that I've ever been asked to. I've been involved with the United Way's Women United program. I've been a loan executive. I've been part of the Young Leaders Society. I think it was called something different years ago when I was younger. And now on the board. So it really has been a pleasure, and being able to see firsthand what this organization does for people is my passion. I'd like to take a few moments to recognize our board members. We have an amazing list of community leaders, and you can see them listed there. Thank you for committing your time and talents to help the United Way reach our goals. I'd specifically like to thank our board officers: Jim Murdaugh, Chair-elect; Darrick McGhee, who's here with us today and whose shoes I'm trying to fill; Rhett Bagwell, Eric Davis, Sally Bradshaw, Beth Quorum, Skip Foster, and Tina Pate. It's been a privilege to work alongside these incredibly smart, thought-provoking individuals. I've enjoyed getting to know all of them a little more on a personal level, and I'm hoping that some of their smarts and goodness will rub off on me. I'm so proud of the board. Thank you. Now I'd like to shift gears to talk more about the true impact that we're making in our community. I don't know about you, but every year I used to look forward going to the Civic Center for this luncheon where we were able to kick off the United Way campaign. I always enjoyed getting to see all of you in person, and admittedly, I think we took that for granted, and I'm missing that today. But I also always look forward to hearing firsthand from our community partners about the impacts of what they were actually doing in the community. And it just touched my heart every year. So as we talked about how to make this meeting a little more engaging for you in this virtual space, we knew we wanted to be able to share some of the stories from our partners. So let's take a look now at how your contributions are creating positive change in the lives of our neighbors.
The United Way of the Big Bend has helped CESC provide emergency shelter, food, and essential services to individuals experiencing homelessness from Gadsden and Wakulla counties. Thank you, United Way, for supporting us in providing these essential services at the Kearney Center.
From all of us here at ECHO, thank you, United Way of the Big Bend. In this time of challenges and uncertainty, you've created access and stability for our local neighbors who are struggling. Access in the form of restocking our food pantry so folks can get the nutrition they need in this time of low income and lost wages, and stability in the sense of rent and utility bills that can remain current and take a burden off these families as they recover from COVID-19. Thank you, and keep up the impactful work.
United Way's contribution to Big Bend Habitat for Humanity has enabled us to build 3 new homes for 3 new families, including our Veterans Build and our Youth Build. Additionally, we're working on building a 10-unit subdivision that will be home to 10 future families here in our community. Thanks, United Way. We couldn't do it without you.
Thank you, United Way of the Big Bend. This year, you have helped Breon to provide tangible resources and support to more than 800 people. With your help, we have improved our residential facility, Breon House Maternity Home, to ensure the safety of the moms and babies who live here. Thank you for helping us change lives and stabilize vulnerable families.
With the support of the United Way, Refuge House hasn't missed a beat in providing emergency shelter and support for every victim of violence in our community. For that, all of us at Refuge House say, thank you.
Over the past year, Second Harvest of the Big Bend has benefited greatly from the contributions that have come from the United Way. We have received over $125,000 in support. Those funds alone have allowed Second Harvest to provide over 500,000 meals to people who are living within our service area.
Legal Services of North Florida is a private nonprofit law firm that provides civil legal help to low-income individuals and families across 16 counties in North Florida. Thank you to the United Way. We couldn't provide the legal help we do for over 6,000 families and individuals annually without your help.
United Way has helped Carabel Food Pantry provide approximately 8,000 meals to families in Franklin County.
With support from the United Way, we've been able to help community members overcome transportation barriers by providing almost 1,300 rides to food pantries, employment opportunities, and medical appointments through our Lyft Ride United initiative.
With support from the United Way of the Big Bend's 2019-2020 funding year, Elder Care Services provided over 101,000 meals to food insecure seniors and over 18,000 hours of vital personal care to seniors in the comfort and the safety of their homes. Thank you.
Here at the Big Bend Homeless Coalition, the United Way of the Big Bend supports 2 programs, the Hope Community Family Emergency Shelter and the Refire Culinary Training Program. These 2 programs help people with their goals of self-sufficiency and stable housing. Thank you for your support.
The United Way of the Big Bend has helped LBB provide employment readiness training to people with varying degrees of vision loss. This funding has also made it possible to update our computer lab with the latest screen reading and screen magnification software, so our clients are ready to enter the workforce with the essential computer skills needed. Thank you.
I want to take this time to thank all all the donors of United Way of the Big Bend for helping us to provide services for kids in Madison and Liberty County. Thanks to your donations, we've been able to provide virtual programming to all of our youth who have been quarantined over the last several months to help them transition until it's time to go back to school.
The United Way has helped the Boys and Girls Club of North Central Florida provide educational services to 854 families. With the help of the United Way, we were able to achieve third grade school readiness for 88 students. Thank you, United Way.
The money that has been given to the Taylor County Weekend Backpack Food Program has helped to feed 85 families each week for a weekend. This provides nutritious foods for these children that otherwise they may not have. Thank you again for supporting this program.
Through the support of the United Way of the Big Bend, Kids Incorporated has been able to extend our services for children 0 to 3 in early learning and education. So we would just like to thank the United Way for their support of the community as well as organizations like mine who serve the community.
Thanks to the United Way of the Big Bend, over 275 young people, ages 10 to 17, received crisis services through our Someplace Else youth shelter. These young people had a safe place to stay until we could help them get back home.
Thanks to the United Way, Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Big Bend served over 600 children last year. Together, let's live united.
Hi, I'm Kim Siney, and your support helps provide lower teacher-to-student ratios for the 125 students we serve, as well as tuition assistance and scholarships for therapy services for the kids that really need it. Thank you for everything that you do for our community.
I just love hearing from our community partners, and I hope you enjoyed that too. It actually gave me chill bumps. So thank you for participating in that video. If COVID-19 has taught us anything, it's that things can change in the blink of an eye. We all have had our normal, and then overnight it seems we were quarantined to our home. Many of us were becoming teachers. We're debating the merits of wearing masks and all the craziness that has come. Yes, things can change every day, and as an individual or an organization, you have to be nimble and ready to address what life throws at you. For the United Way, that means being able to shift with the current needs of the community. Recognizing this need, our United Way board understood that our strategic plan needed to maintain relevance during this pandemic. Thanks to the work done previously, several years ago, we were confident that we were in a great place to refine our strategic plan. In just a few short months since the pandemic hit, our board met to review and discuss the impacts of COVID-19 on our community and our work. After reviewing the updated United Way ALICE report, updated community health needs assessment, and the impact of COVID-19 on the ALICE population, our strategic planning committee made a recommendation that has just been approved by our board. I'm happy to announce that we are adding health and mental health to our outcome areas with a goal of providing affordable health and mental health resources. This will replace the aging workforce outcome area, but it does not minimize our commitment to seniors and the elderly. They will still be addressed under our safety net and other outcome areas. Thanks.
Thank you, Stephanie. We at United Way are looking forward to the opportunity to help families with their health and mental health needs. Thanks to the board and the leadership for moving forward in this direction. In a few minutes, you're going to hear from our immediate past chairman, Darrick McGhee. Darrick is the Chief Operating Officer for Johnson & Blanton with over 2 decades of experience in state and local governments. He's also the pastor of Bible-based church. Board members in our community talk about his megawatt smile and the many talents he brings to our community and to our United Way of the Big Bend board. After George Floyd's death, our friend Darrick McGhee's smile faded a bit. And Darrick, who is very private about his personal life, posted to social media a post, one that we thought our community needed to hear. And now I would like to read this post. He is 14. He's an honor roll student. He's from a two-parent household. He loves Jesus. He has a smile that will light up a room. He's an athlete. He's an older brother. He's the oldest grandchild on both sides of his family. He's very respectful. He's not a bully, nor does he tolerate them. He has big dreams. He's already been called the N-word. He is my son. I'm so proud of him. Does any of the aforementioned really matter? I am afraid for him. The question is, are you afraid of him? Hashtag father of a black son. Please welcome our past chairman and friend, Darrick McGhee.
Thank you so much, Berneice. Good afternoon, everyone. It's always an honor to be before you and to be a part of this great organization. Berneice shared a story that I wrote on my Facebook page and on other social media mediums. It's a true story. It's a reality that my wife and I face as a result of George Floyd's murder and a conversation with my 14-year-old son. But unfortunately, we're not exempt in this regard. There are other households who've had to have this same conversation and this impact. I will share with you that our beloved city of Tallahassee is not exempt from what we've seen in other communities. If we disregard the need for conversation and unity, we could find ourselves seeing similar activities take place. We love our community, love who we are as a people. We desire one Tallahassee, and that one Tallahassee requires all of us working together. George Floyd murder hit home hard for us because for every black man or the mother of a black child, you saw your child's face or your own face in that of George Floyd. And it brought up pain and agony, brought back memories of years gone by of civil unrest and social injustice. But ladies and gentlemen, I share with you that I stand here as one who has not lost hope, and I encourage you in that regard. The same way this has created a conversation, I will also tell you, it also brings to the forefront the fact of the matter that there are families who are still struggling every day to make ends meet. Our board chair shared about the Alice report. In that report, it shows that there are people right amongst us every day struggling with their very basic needs, and we have a responsibility. With families in need in our community, we as a community have to rise up, and this United Way has done that. But I want to speak to the faith-based community on a thing I like to call from pavement to pulpit or pulpit to pavement, however you want to phrase it. It is the regard that we as faith leaders in this community have a responsibility to stand up, to step up, and to speak out. What you see on the screen is a photo taken on the steps of the Capitol. It was a vision had by a local pastor, that of Pastor Quincy Griffin, Family Worship and Praise here in Tallahassee. He wanted to gather all pastors, small, medium, and large congregations who would come together to do a visual of showing the community that we stand together. Our shirts matter. The words on those shirts speak volumes of what we were doing. What you see in that picture are blacks and whites, women and men, various faith backgrounds, those who are Christians and those who are not Christians, those who are from the Jewish background, etc., all coming together to stand for social justice and against social injustice. But this still picture is more than just us getting together for a picture. It's also us committing as leaders that we're going to use our pulpit and also use our feet on the pavement to speak out when we see wrong taking place. It is a necessity. It is necessary, and we cannot be silent. What I shared on social media about my son is what we are all promising to do from our pulpits and on the pavement. I am one who believes in peaceful protest. But once we have done that, we must also continue to use our voices in that regard. I always like to say that once you know, you can't unknow. And once you know there are people who are being disenfranchised, we have a responsibility to step up and to speak out. And so I want to give a charge to every faith-based leader, regardless of your religious bringing or the lack thereof. I want to challenge you and charge you that you use your feet on the pavement and your voice in your pulpit to speak out against social injustice, but also to be a voice and a person of hope to help those who are in need. Again, Many amongst us struggle with their basic needs. This United Way is working very hard to try to combat that. Your help is necessary. We can do a lot. If you're already doing it, thank you. If you're trying to figure out a way to be helpful, there are always ways we can use your hands, your voice, and your feet. What we see in our country, all that's going on, we're not exempt. But because we are a city that believes in each other and our children's future, we fight together, speak out together, and we are one city, a city called Tallahassee. Let's do it together. And now, I want to bring back up our wonderful and our great President and CEO, Mrs. Berneice Cox.
Thank you, Darrick. United Way of the Big Bend is propelled by champions from this community and for the community. We want to talk about some of those champions today, the Power Five. And who is the Power Five? The Power Five is comprised of United Way board members and other key leaders in our community. Their role is to lead a dedicated team to achieve overall campaign success and provide leadership for the implementation and execution of our workplace campaign efforts. We want to thank Beth Coram for leading this group of dynamic community leaders. I'd like to recognize those individuals who have committed to assisting with the 2021 annual community campaign. We are excited to announce our campaign cabinet, Power Five. I'd like to introduce and recognize Alan Kesey, CEO of Capital Regional Medical Center, Chris Mills of Truist Bank, Caitlin Yancey Moore of TC Federal Bank, Heidi Otway of Salter Mitchell PR, and Steve Ufelder of Ufelder and Associates. United Way of the Big Bend fights for every person in every community. Financial and volunteer resources garnered through the campaign process enable us to accomplish this mission by improving lives and mobilizing resources. Looking to a new campaign year is always exciting and full of possibilities. We have a great deal of talented and hardworking volunteers committing more than just money. These individuals offer their time, talent, and creativity to create a stronger Big Bend. At this time, I'd like to introduce our 2021 Affinity Chairs. From leading the charge of our second annual Women's Leadership Breakfast, bringing Lisa Ling to Tallahassee, to serving as chair-elect, Roland Publishing's Vice President of Corporate Development, Mackenzie Burley, brings a fun flair to everything she does. We're proud to announce her service as a 2021 Women United Chair. Bringing care and charisma to our Young Leaders Society for many years, Jonathan Romero of Rogers Gunnar Vaughan Hub International will serve as our 2021 Young Leaders Society Chair. Jonathan and Mackenzie, we're so excited of what this group will hold for you for this year. If you or your company is looking to get more involved and are interested in Women United or Young Leaders, please visit our website. These groups are incredibly fun. We're going to be talking later about some of the events coming up they're working on, some really fun events that both of them are working on. Loaned executive and employee campaign coordinators running the Leon and neighboring county campaigns do this while executing their daily jobs. Special thanks to the following companies for participating in the Loaned Executive Program: Capital City Bank, Carr, Riggs, Ingram CPAs and Advisors, The First Bank, Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare, and Thomas Howell Ferguson. We'd also like to recognize the committed volunteers in Gadsden, Jefferson, Madison, Taylor, and Wakulla counties supporting their county's campaign efforts. And now I would like to ask our board chair to please come back and share some other great news with you.
Well, Berneice, I just heard you mention board members, committees, affinity chairs, committee chairs, Power Five, loaned executives, employee campaign coordinators, county campaign coordinators, and we're going to be talking about other volunteers. And there's so many people that it takes to raise money, right? The United Way team is small, although mighty, but they cannot do it alone. It really does take all of these people. Their commitment to community is what sets them apart as a true leader, and our volunteers have that in spades. Balancing the responsibilities we have at home with work And our commitment to the community can sometimes be challenging. I know firsthand trying to do it all isn't easy, and I'm thankful I have a great partner to help me. When we become overwhelmed, though, we find it sometimes easy to put off our community obligations first. So I want to thank our volunteers for sticking with it and giving of their time selflessly. As we adjust to this new reality we're living in, things look a little differently, obviously, just like we're seeing today. We recognize that our internal campaigns are going to look a little different too. At TMH, we've been prepping for like the last month, gearing up for our campaign kickoff and trying to figure what can we do creatively in this new age. And we're coming up with some great ideas. Obviously, we're going to still have prizes and incentives and do fun games, but we can't reach our 5,500 colleagues like normal. So we're going to be doing some videos in other creative ways. So we want you to know that your United Way team is going to deliver campaign materials and walk through some of these new, fun, creative, and innovative ways to reach your employees. Again, this may include virtual presentations, fillable pledge forms for those people who are working remotely, new graphics and images and videos to share your campaign and really show the impact that United Way can make. So I'd like to challenge each of you to be the champion of your campaign. What can you do to engage in your own organization? Thank you in advance for your cooperation, creativity, and commitment to the United Way. Now we'd like to share another video.
When does history foretell the future? When you're guided by a 78-year commitment to caring, an unrelenting stubbornness to make lives better, an investment in our neighbors, that's a story worth telling. The last 20 years alone, $64 million has been invested precisely where it has been needed the most, in those whose only currency was hope. $1 at a time, given by one person at a time. A constant, unwavering march to wrap our arms around need. If there was ever a moment to build on a helping history, that moment is now. If we ever understood that we are not promised tomorrow, we understand that now. So now we must challenge ourselves and ask, does our compassion have a limit? Can we filter through our own tough times to find a way to change a life of someone we will never know, to have the knowledge that we embrace the simplest truth. We helped even when we needed help. We gave when we had so little. We never know what's on the next page of our life album, what's around the corner. We only know what we have here and now, and when there was need, we didn't turn away. There are children who will sleep well tonight. There are parents who will stand in their doorway and watch them and know that today, because they cared beyond themselves, hunger wasn't allowed in the doorway of another family. And in the midst of that which we could not control, we found our better selves and we embraced our certainty. Together we do more. The United Way of the Big Bend.
As we have recognized those committed to our cause for the coming year, I would also like to thank those who made our last campaign a success during one of the most challenging seasons we have endured. Special thanks to Sheriff Walt McNeil, our 2019-20 Honorary Campaign Chair, and to our loaned executives. I also want to thank Molly Lord, who is our Vice President of Resource Development, to Molly and her team. Because of their collective hard work, United Way of the Big Bend was able to generate a total fiscal impact on the community of $3,573,320. This amount is compiled from campaign funds, grants to fund our initiatives, and COVID-19 relief. There is just no way for United Way to have an impact on the community without our volunteers and supporters. That's you. We cannot do any of this without you. At this time, we'd like to recognize some amazing individual companies going above and beyond to conquer poverty in the Big Bend, our United Way Top 25 campaigns. That is an impressive list, all with corporate social responsibility, and we really are appreciative of all of Top 25. And now we have some special awards to give. The Pinnacle Award is a campaign that is over $500,000, and the Pinnacle Award goes to public supermarket charities. The Cornerstone Award is for a campaign that's between $100,000 and $249,999, almost $250. That is Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare, Capital Health Plan, Florida State University, and Leon County Schools. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce back to the podium our past chairman, Darrick McGhee, who was chair during this last year's campaign. Darrick?
Thank you again, Berneice. I'm so proud to be a part of this community and the great things that are going on, especially in times of hardship. We always show how much we love our community and each other. COVID-19 has hit everyone hard this year. No one's exempt, and still we are incredible in our generosity and grace that we see from our supporters. And for that, we say thank you. The companies and individuals I'm about to recognize embody what it means to go above and beyond in supporting our United Way. The first award is the Business Partner of the Year. The definition of partnership is a relationship between individuals or groups that is characterized by mutual cooperation and a responsibility as for the achievement of a specified goal. This award is presented to our business or one of our business partners that has grown and gone above and beyond to support our United Way's mission, vision, and goals. Our nominees for Business Partner of the Year are the SHIP Program of Gaston County, Insight Media, and Florida Blue. And the winner is Florida Blue in Leon County and the SHIP Program in Gaston County. Congratulations to our business partners. Thank you so much for the great work that you have done. Our next category is for Campaign Coordinator of the Year. This shooting star led their company to become top fundraisers for the respective year of the campaign. The nominees are Megan Smith of Talquin, Jacille Rodriguez of Tri-Eagle, Beth Marshall of Greenberg Trerick, PA, and Jackie Johnson, a Madison County volunteer. And congratulations goes to Megan Smith in Leon County and Jackie Johnson for our neighboring county. Congratulations to you both. Thank you so much for the great work you've done. We greatly appreciate it. Our next award goes to Most Creative Campaign. This award is presented to a company whose campaign was the life of the party. They motivated their employees and or customers to participate in creative fundraising efforts. Did you get it? Good. Our nominees for the Most Creative Campaign are Georgia Pacific, Foley Cellulose, Capital Regional Medical Center, and WCTV. And I stand to recognize the award goes to Capital Regional Medical Center in Leon County and Georgia Pacific in our neighboring counties. Thank you so much for such a great creative campaign. The next category is for Outstanding New Campaign. A new company that ran an outstanding campaign for the first time is honored in this category. The winner is selected based on organizational support, level of employee participation, campaign results, internal communications, special events, showing the campaign video, running a leadership campaign, hosting a community impact or recipient speaker and volunteer participation. The nominees are Demfino's Ladies, the Gaston County Times, Greenwise Market, Target FSU Campus, and the First Bank. This year, I'd like to recognize Greenwise Market in Leon County and the Gaston County Times for our neighboring county. Congratulations to you both. Thank you for your great work. We greatly appreciate it. And the last award category is Pacesetter Campaign. Pacesetters are businesses and organizations that conduct successful United Way of the Big Bend workplace campaigns early to set the pace for upcoming campaign season. To participate, organizations agree to meet specific Pacesetter campaign criteria and report their campaign results by September 30th. Pacesetters demonstrate extraordinary community leadership, and by participating, they are eligible for additional recognition. Our nominees for Pacesetter campaign are Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare and Target Stores. This year's Pacesetter Campaign Award recipient is, tired of waiting, Target Stores. Congratulations to you and to all those who were nominated and were awarded. Great work by you. We thank you for all of your campaigns. Now, turning things back over to our board chair, Stephanie Derzypolski, who will also be giving awards for our United Way of the Big Bend initiatives. Thank you. Stephanie?
So you bring me up right after a loss. Sorry, TMH lost the Pacesetter. Oh well, we'll move on. Many people know about United Way funding program partners, but do you also know we have our own programs and initiatives? Reading and Math Pals, Smile United, and VITA. I'd like to take a few moments to talk through these programs and recognize the amazing volunteers that make them possible, starting with Math and Reading Pals. So you may ask, why does the United Way have a program that deals with reading and math? Well, I think some people know, but for the rest of you, I will explain. When children are learning to read, up until the 3rd grade, they are learning to read. Following 3rd grade, or after 3rd grade, you're then reading to learn about life and social studies and math. Everything is built on that foundation. So a child who hasn't learned to read by the 3rd grade quickly begins to fall behind. They get frustrated. They perhaps don't graduate school because of these challenges. Then when they drop out of high school, they are more likely to engage in criminal behavior and require social services assistance and be employed in low-wage jobs. This just perpetuates the cycle that we're trying to stop, everything that we're trying to stop. But if we can change that trajectory by providing a mentor who devotes one-on-one time each week with them to help them achieve grade level proficiency, we give them better odds at graduating on time with their peers, and they can realize a path towards a successful future. The Reading Pals program is in its 7th year. This past year, the United Way served 19 schools across Leon and Gadsden counties, and that's every Title I school in Leon County. None of this could be done without the 105 mentors who give their time each week. These mentors provided 2,835 volunteer hours and assisted 150 children. 4,050 books were given to students who participated in the program to help them grow their own personal home libraries. In addition to providing these literary skills, mentors worked with a new program this year. They integrated what's called social emotional learning into the program, where a focus was placed on diversity and inclusion. This past year, Math Pals served 5 Title I schools in Leon County. 16 mentors volunteered over 432 hours to work with 3rd grade students to increase their math skills. By providing these services to our children, these volunteers saved our schools over $83,000. These programs take a lot of coordination. Besides the mentor volunteers, we also depend on our school site coordinators and school principals who work diligently to ensure the Math Pals and Reading Pals programs at their schools are flourishing and are a place where students enjoy coming every week. To our mentors, site coordinators, and principals, we say thank you. The commitment you exhibit to these programs and your students will have a lasting impact for years and is valued more than you know. Unfortunately, we lost one of our very special site coordinators this year. Karen Bradwell was a dedicated site coordinator for both Reading Pals and Math Pals at Fort Braden Elementary School. On July 26, Karen Bradwell passed away after complications associated with COVID-19. Fort Braden's principal and our very own Leon County Commissioner, Jimbo Jackson, worked alongside her for over 25 years. He wanted to make sure everyone knew what a wonderful gift she was to the Fort Braden family. He said, and I quote, "She touched so many lives. She was a solid rock in our school community as our after-school director. More importantly, she was a devoted and loving mother, sister, aunt, grandmother, godmother, and mentor to hundreds of students over many years. We can't begin to measure how many lives she touched." Thank you, Commissioner Jackson, for those kind words. What a tribute to Karen. We're so thankful to have had her as part of our program. Her legacy will indeed live on in the many lives she touched. Now we're going to shift to our last two programs, one being Smile United. So United Way knows that children with good oral health are more likely to achieve success in school. I mean, if you have a toothache, you can't really pay attention in school. That's why, through the generous support of the Florida Blue Foundation, we continue to make investments in pediatric dental health. Through this grant, Smile United was able to expand services to kindergarten students this year. Thank you to all those program partners, the schools, the principals, the site coordinators for their support of the Smile United Dental Sealant Program. During 2019, dental hygienists with the Leon County Department of Health's Molar Express, working alongside with Liberty Community Healthcare, served 2,009 students across Leon and Gadsden County Title I schools. The final program I'd like to talk about is our Volunteer Income Assistance Program, or VITA. Thank you, VITA volunteers. I enjoy saying VITA volunteers. VITA volunteers, year after year, these dedicated community members assist with providing professional tax prep services for free. Since 2005, VITA volunteers have filed over 30,000 returns and saved taxpayers nearly $6 million in those prep fees. Our volunteers brought $1.5 million in refunds just into the Big Bend area alone in 2019. The success of the VITA program could not be possible without the support of our program partners, sponsors, and the committed service of our site coordinators and volunteers. Thank you for all you do to help the Big Bend region achieve greater financial stability. And I'll turn it over to Berneice for our last few words.
Thank you, Stephanie. I have two very simple messages. We have a problem, but there's hope. 1 in 2 of our neighbors is living in poverty, or they're working and living paycheck to paycheck, and due to COVID-19, those numbers are increasing. Their children play soccer with your child. They're the couple at the end of the pew at your church. They're standing next to you in a grocery checkout lane. They might even be a good friend who's too embarrassed to share with you just how in need they are. And do you know why I know? Because I was one of them. I was a single mother working a full-time job and two part-time jobs, struggling to make ends meet, making choices each month about the bills to pay. It was a real challenging time for me financially. People are one illness, one problem, one lost job, or one other challenge away from financial ruin. We need you to know that we are committed to you, our neighbors, and all of our communities. We want to help provide stability in times of critical need by supporting programs that provide safety services for all. We cannot do this alone. We need your support, your help, your commitment as well. To all of our United Way supporters, volunteers, and friends, thank you for taking time to join us today for this first ever virtual event. I hope you join me in my excitement about the upcoming campaign. It is only by uniting all of us collectively to really make an impact on our community. I'm proud to be a supporting member of the United Way of the Big Bend, where together we do more. From all of us here at United Way, we thank you for your continued support. We have lots of fun events. I think there's a calendar that's being up right now, so please take a look at some important dates. I know I'm checking them. I'm going to pick out a couple. The lip sync event on September the 17th. I know a couple of people that I think should be on that lip sync event. So Jonathan Romero, I'm going to be calling you. The Golf Classic. Golf is something that we've all been able to do during the pandemic. I'm not a very good golfer, but I'm going to be out on that golf course on November the 9th. And the Women's Leadership Breakfast on December the 3rd. Again, thank you all so much for joining us today. Live united, and our community will be in a great place. Thank you.